So I'm in a new place and I'm feeling kind of lonely again and kind of isolated from the people I know, the people I can talk to because I'm traveling alone and I'm getting farther away from them as I travel to new places and do this solo trip. Um, and it's also not a quick vacation. It's like a indefinite, constant travel type of thing. So I thought back to how did I cope with a similar loneliness with the pandemic. I feel like the whole world went through that experience with me, and many of them were extroverts, and they had to deal with months, years even of being alone or having much less social contact. So, how did they do that without going insane? Um, I actually didn't find as much info as I would have thought on it when I did a search on social media. So, I may do a second search. But I think what I'm trying to say is that um, I tried to find info, and I guess I ended up going back to what I did. So, how did I get through it? I think the first few weeks were tough for everyone. There were moments where it was fine, and then there were moments where it was like, oh my gosh, we're just isolated in our rooms alone. And I think people did different things. I think I did try and reach out on occasion just to talk to people on the phone. Um, and other than that, I think I tried to be as social as I could in a safe way, which often didn't mean that much. There's only so much I could do. So I did what I could, called people, and then I just tried to make the most of it. And at first, it just seemed like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go crazy here. But eventually, my body adjusted somehow. And I somehow got okay with just like watching a bit more TV, exercising at home, exercising through Zoom, doing kind of social calls through Zoom, and just trying to make the most of it. And going out on walks outside. And so, the opportunities to talk to people um, w- were less. It was clearly reduced. But I just eventually hit a new equilibrium where that was how it was. I worked from home, and then I did my Zoom class, and then I went to do my other fun activities, whether that was make YouTube videos or watch TV. And that was my essentially my life during the pandemic. So somehow I had gotten through it that way, and it's funny because, there were moments where it was like, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. So much social isolation. I gotta talk to someone in real life, and so that was tough. And then like as we went later into the pandemic, I found ways of talking to them in a social distance. Them being like one or two friends who were willing to meet up from a distance. But it was tough, and so I feel like if the whole world could get through it, then so can I. And I can. I'm still flabbergasted that like we all got through this, even despite the mental health toll it takes on people. And so I think it's something that I can take with me as some tips, even now that the pandemic's over. Because even before the pandemic and after, I think I run into moments like that, especially when you're just like not too good at socializing, or you're like me, like you find some social groups, but then you're traveling a lot, so then you move somewhere else, and you gotta start over in a way. But no one's really gone. It's more of like a see you later, because they still exist in this world, and you never know. You may be able to return or catch up with them one day, and so they're never really gone. And so yeah, I think that's what I gotta say. And it's tough. It is tough now, and it was tough during the pandemic. I'm surprised how I got through it. I'm surprised about the equilibrium. There was a point where a year in, I was okay with it and okay with just watching TV and playing video games and also like trying to make something productive out of it. I took some courses, I made YouTube videos, all this stuff. But there were definitely moments before them where that equilibrium was hard to hit, and it was just really tough. What would I do? But I filled that extra free time I got with just a little bit more of exercise or cooking at home, and just made the most of it.